1. I know.
Hail and well met.
Sorry.
We should have coordinated that. Like,
We should have, yeah.
Do we really need to have some kind of big dramatic entrance?
Yes!
We are.
Damn it!
yes, we do.
Always.
Start the recording over. Ecstatic, play your audio clip.
You know that we can. You know that we can also edit the audio.
I'm not editing this audio.
No,
Yeah, no.
that's not happening.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you very much for coming down in. This is the post-mortem mask off for the GMs. For those of you listening later, this is where we answer some of your questions based on the plot and other things that you have on the game of Big Team that we've been playing at the One Shot Club. And I want to start off by saying we have all the GMs present, either in mind or in body, but not both. We have Annie.
Yeet, gamers.
Batman.
Indeed you do.
We have Rescue.
I'm a little distracted, but hi.
And we
You're
have
distracted.
And we have
He's
Siege.
here. Siege is here. He is excited to get going.
If you would all look into during game talk, there's a lovely image that's been built for us all.
Graphic
Why
design
would
is
you do this to me?
graphic design is
Aw.
my passion.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry,
love
Batman.
it.
Is it really hard to do this while playing freaking League of Legends right game?
Wait, I have 2 monitors. I can put it on my other monitor. Alright, we're good. We're good.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
Look,
Perfect.
if bats can play League, then I can play.
Okay, you're making a big assumption that I can play League right now.
All right, I will try and keep the Rescue and Batman questions aside so I don't disturb your freaking game.
No, please. I
Wow.
love it. We'll do it. We'll do it live.
Fuck it, with
All right,
frick it,
so-
we'll do it live.
Okay, so I guess you should probably start with, basically we have a whole bunch of questions. I've selected a few. We're going to go through them all one by one. And the first question is for all of us, which is, from Jadis, is Grey essentially finished as a primary campaign villain?
As a primary campaign villain, yes.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
done.
I think so. They're like, I would expect them to be present because they're in a lot of people's stories, but they're definitely not likely to be the main antagonist going forward.
They're
Not in the
I'd-
same scale.
They might
Also-
show up for a side arc or two.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that I can
Especially
see
for
happening.
personal stories, I think they're very likely to appear in that case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
Unfortunately-
as like huge main
Practical.
villains now.
Unfortunately, according to the game, only technically 2 of the 4 members, the 4 leaders of Grey, got their just weapons, aka being Gazal and Rodriguez, who is currently unknown, but his reputation is ruined, and Gazal, who may or may not have their mind warped, not quite sure.
They didn't. It
Was
was.
this in the last finale? I still haven't
Yeah.
watched that one.
It was
Oof.
explained.
Second last.
Dirk did clarify that. I mean, sorry, Darcy. Darcy did clarify. Like, I'm going to trap your mind forever. Anything like that. It was more just like, if you have a moment to think to yourself, that's all you're going to be able to think about.
No problem. And
It
I'd
was
also,
something like that.
I'd also like to say that I believe Darcy also asked that to be retconned. But either
Yes.
way, Gazal is done. Gazal is one that, out of all the villains, Gazal is definitely done. Also, I just realized that people listening to this may not have listened to the last episode. So I need to play you guys a clip. I gotta play you a clip, Batman. You gotta bear with me, okay?
Oh,
Oh boy, let's go.
Let's hear it.
Previously on The Big Team.
I
I
know the
might
sound of my
recommend
voice.
But at the same time, isn't all of Zodiac City your fault?
I apologize. My mom is being a dick.
We're gonna need the mole people.
If you will be their princess, I will be your sword.
This isn't Sonic Adventure 2.
Is that why the movie works for Grey and doesn't have your interest in Zodiac equal with her?
I got a full day from copying his powers.
Oh.
Why would you worry about these when you can follow someone on the A-list?
Don't tell anybody that I'm scared about it, but I am scared.
To absolutely murder you.
This ends tonight. Not my This is our moment of truth here together.
I just wanted to play that just so you guys.
That was really good. Did you do the editing for that, Ecstatic?
Yeah, I did all of that.
That was
I
excellent.
love it.
10 out
That
of
was
10.
really good.
I had to get a voice actor to do the freaking beginning.
Do you
thing,
just
the previous
casually
big
know
thing.
voice actors?
I just catch when you're my
Did you go on
age, you just
Fiverr for
casually know
that?
voice actors.
That's pretty good.
I
That's
was
pretty
hoping
good.
you went onto Fiverr for that.
I wish. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. I just had to play that for you because I realized that both Rescue and Batman hadn't heard that. So I was like,
I
gotta get you
haven't,
guys
and
That was good. That was really good. I love it.
it was very good, and I appreciated my moments of Sonic Adventure 2 and Kill.
Onwards to the next question. So this is going to be a personal question to Annie. Annie, since you call yourself the baby GM or the Gremlin, aka Gremlin, what is the one thing you want to learn from the other GMs to grow into a Gremlin 2.0?
Okay, so probably the biggest thing that I want to try tackling and learning and like, you know, my senpais, is to tell better personal stories. Like take the players like personal arcs and be like, you're gonna do this and this and this and you're gonna get your story done and we're gonna make it emotional and we're not gonna kill anyone unless you want to kill anyone, but you're not gonna kill anyone because there's no killing. And like just personal storytelling and arcs in general, plus getting to know the mechanics a lot better and more like in depth. And just generally, I guess, being assertive and being less distracted by the peanut gallery. You know.
That one's really hard.
Yeah.
The last
It
one.
is very hard.
Whew.
I struggle nuts with distracted by the peanut gallery. I fully understand that, but it is there for that reason, so we know that there's an audience who actually do care enough to actually type in text for us, and it keeps other players from interrupting with like side notes. Question for everyone. So from Black Halo. So why animals? What was the goal behind turning? Hey, not because one of us is fairies. One answer. What's the goal between turning Haitianites into anthropomorphic beings?
Because
like in universe. What is the in universe reason for doing this?
Because we're all
was that not made clear?
I feel like I made that kind of clear.
Yeah.
Unless
I'm not sure.
Black Halo may not have been aware of that session thing.
Probably.
Because I kind of assumed that people had prior knowledge.
Well, the whole reason is you kind of needed to know some information on Ghazal in order for that to kind of make sense. So Ghazal was one of the original, I guess, scientists for Permutation Pink. There was an accident and his wife got caught in it. And so one day a hunter killed her for a reward because there were rumors going around that there's a monster and a reward. And after that, because no one will have to go through something like this if everyone looks like a quote-unquote monster. And it was...
that's pretty good. I like that. That's a pretty fair, straight-up assumption. I'm down. That sounds great.
Yeah, it was, you know, just because of that. And again, you just had to have either listened in on the Ghazal sessions or been in the Ghazal sessions.
That's also fair. One second, I need a moment to reconnect.
Way to disseminate information than what we've been doing, because that's a really valid question. And it's one that we should have done better at answering if somebody has it after the end of the session. So that's something that we should probably think about.
It's true. Fortunately, the players have a what happened in season 2 so far document.
True.
And we should probably put it in there too to help them out. So thanks again for that one.
We have
Go on.
excellent players who have been doing a great job at mass improving the wiki recently. So
Thank
stuff
you.
like that can be answered. So I do want to give a quick shout out here to Alice for just doing a great job on that.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm not going to give my thanks to Gay Alice because that would mean I'd have to acknowledge them.
And all of the other people that are also doing a great job.
Exactly. That means I'd have to acknowledge people, and as a GM, I feel like I shouldn't.
Thank you, Wikimancers, for all of your hard work.
It's funny you should bring this up because the next question is actually for you, Xerxes.
Oh, gross.
During your GM training phase, you ran some OVAs that were later made canon, including some villains/assholes like Silento and Officer Counselor Benoit. Do you think these characters will see a return or a greater focus in season 3?
As for Benoit, I don't really think so. I just kind of had Benoit there to kind of emphasize that there are corrupt officials, and that's who White Light and Black Light go after most. So as for Benoit, I don't have any plans for using him. Anyone can just use him if they wanted to. For Silencio, I honestly haven't really thought about it. He was just kind of there for the Dia de los Muertos session and the very first practice session I ran. If he is popular, I'll definitely think about bringing him back. Try to find a way to fit him into the narrative.
Well, I mean, seems popular enough for people to ask questions, but it's entirely up to see how it goes. So, with that in mind, we're gonna jump on to the next question. Another group question, everyone. What was your individual favorite season 2 moments?
That's so hard because there were so many great ones.
Oh, I have so many.
Can I be?
You're allowed to pick one.
Okay. I guess I'll go first. If I have to pick one, the thing that screams out to me as I slowly draw this out because it's so hard to pick.
Let me draw it out a bit more. What was the question again? I was in a.
God damn it, Batman! The question is, what was your favorite season 2 moment?
Season 2 what?
Moment.
Okay. Can we post the questions in during game talk as well, actually, just so that I don't have to have that embarrassing moment in the future?
This ain't getting cut out.
That is a hard one.
If anything, out of character wise, I'd say becoming a GM because I get to put everybody through hell. I love torturing players.
See, that's more like it. That's the Annie I know.
Go on, Xerxes.
If I'm going to be quite honest, I have the memory of a pea. So I honestly don't really remember too many season 2 moments. But I did really enjoy the Jake retirement sessions. I just really enjoyed having Ecstatic for a GM for the first time.
Oh, babes.
All right, I think I got mine. So I'm actually really split. Okay, so I've either got I'm stuck between actually Ecstatic's introduction of martial law, that session, that moment there was just such a page turner for us. That so much happened, and it just got it felt like that was such a great let's bring everything up to an excitement level that we hadn't done yet. My other one, since I have to steal two because I'm like that, was what I had the most fun with was probably way back when with Rescue's session with White Light, where I got to give everybody these individual reflections of themselves.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and going through all those different emotional scenes back to back to back to back to back ended up being a lot of fun for me.
That was very good.
I have 3 more, but I should let other people talk.
I think that's probably. I mean, you can do one more. I'll let you have one more. You have
Okay.
one more.
All right. So the other one was crap. I had it in my head just 5 seconds ago.
Wow.
No, it's great. I loved it. Someone else do something while I remember what it was.
I'd say definitely the solo session was a big, because We can set up having solo sessions in the future.
You know what? I
don't remember a solo session.
I only had one person turn up for my game, and that was Annie.
Yeah.
So I ran a solo session for them, and it was actually really, really deep and cool. And
was
I
that
kind of
Rodriguez's
feel...
introduction?
No, it was ES17's introduction.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that may qualify actually for my favorite moment now that I think about it. That was so good. The like last scene where he took her away.
Oh, that was actually gonna be my favorite moment. That was actually mine. That was gonna be mine. That's because like out of every scene, that was the one that I enjoyed the most. Mostly because Annie is a GM and Batman's a GM, and both of you realized what I was doing, and there was nothing both of you could do about it because it was such a perfectly laid out line. I enjoyed it. If I can't pick that, I will pick. Strangely enough, I'm gonna pick Sidestep's reveal during the Sonata, where it turned out that he was hidden as the creature of the multiple arms all along. Because I really enjoyed running that, and that was one of my favorite moments. Because I didn't get to play very much in season 2.
You really did.
That many.
It's criminal how much you didn't get to play.
I'm really sorry. And I enjoyed so much about everything, especially Rescue's moment. But like, out of my favorite moments in my head would be the ones I picked from GMing, which is a shame. I'm sorry about that. Siege, you get the last thing before I move on.
Okay. This wasn't the one I was thinking of, but this one occurred to me while we were talking. The Rodriguez, Lavender, and Parrot scene for that Batman ran, where again he had ES17, right? And he was like pulling off his voice modulation stuff. That's not a spoiler anymore, I hope. And that scene where they set it up, because I had to sit back after that scene and say, okay, what is being a hero to me? And that felt really important. I thought that because of that split between do you pull someone who thinks that their father is a good person away from them, even though you know that they're ruining their lives?
Yeah.
That heart-wrenching moment really hit me pretty hard, and I enjoyed that.
Ecstatic, before you move on, can I say one more thing?
Go on.
I really enjoyed torturing Annie with Blacklight's laugh during season 2.
Can you do that again for me? Thank you.
You're welcome.
So good. I love it. All right. Next question is for you, Siege. Siege, who is your favorite NPC to include in the story?
Wow, man, I get all the favorite questions. Okay, NPC. Who have I done multiple times? I know this doesn't seem good, wouldn't be the obvious choice, but I really like doing Monkey. I like this dark, deep, so many burdens are placed upon me kind of attitude that Monkey has. And
I wish I was able to play that a bit better when I was playing as Monkey, but it's because I didn't know enough about the character. It's a shame.
I think you did it pretty well. Use I never asked for any of this is part of that trope, right? So I think you hit it well.
I never asked for this.
I can't believe he is Spider-Man Noir.
If I had to pick someone, the first person to come to my mind is.
All right, I think that's fantastic. Okay, question for everyone. So bear yourselves for this one's going to be a bit harder. If you could change one thing about season 2, what would it be?
Ooh. I'm going to refrain from answering this question.
That's okay.
Just because, yeah.
I would have put
my issues are no longer here, so I don't have any complaints about it.
I would say my biggest issue was we didn't build up Steel Spirit Alpha enough for Rising of Zodiac when it flew into the sky. Like, that block session needed more build up than we gave it.
Yeah.
And so it didn't hit hard when it needed to hit hard, and it kind of felt like it came out of left field. So a lot of people who weren't there for those exact sessions, and even those who were there, and the one that wasn't focusing with that character directly, didn't get the importance of that we were trying to give.
I think that's fair.
I think in a similar vein, I wish that we had started using Trello and other communicative tools in season 2, because that would have helped us disseminate information more effectively, because I think we had a really big information fragmentation problem where things that were important to us as GMs were not made as clear to the players as we would have liked, and that led to situations, where things seem to happen all of a sudden, where from our perspective as GMs they weren't. It's just that the dots that we were trying to connect weren't obvious to the players.
I think that's also fair. If no one else in the one, I have one. But it's a bit controversial, so bear with me. I wish we had revealed Dragon as Gazelle much earlier. I think that's the one thing I wish we'd revealed a lot earlier. I tried. I mean, okay, there was some confusion about it, but I literally tried to throw it at the players when I was going. I literally was like, I'm
pretty sure you did.
You did.
As hard as I can. Please, someone make this connection.
If it were up to you, when would it have happened?
It would have happened when the Zodiac were introduced.
Wow.
Like,
that's really early.
I would have been dropping. Well, that's the problem, right? Here's the problem. We've had so much time and very little to do with Dragon that no one has anything to do with Dragon, and he's been elusive. But some kind of hint or something to start it up, so people suspected Dragon knew more than he was before, would have been good for me. And then when it came out to end of season 2, it'd have been like, oh, the clues were all there. Because the problem was that we didn't really give the players enough time to link the clues together. It was only like as the game went on closer to the end that we tried to bring it together for it. And that was my problem with it.
So when was that decision made? Because finding out the Dragon was a shock to me as a player.
Well, here's the interesting thing.
It's interesting that you said that you wanted that earlier when you made that change.
You see, I thought Dragon was Gazelle a very long time ago when the whole thing was revealed. And no one else seemed to have known about this but me. And I'm like, guys, when are we going to reveal this? And I was like, wait, well, I'm like, guys, this is part of the plot.
No one had thought that, no. Absolutely no one had thought that.
I was like, I'm not the only one. I swear we had a meeting at the beginning of season 2 talking about Zodiac, and we mentioned Dragon was Gazelle, and I was like, wow, that'd be I can't wait for that reveal. And I was like, hey guys, I'm going to do the reveal
this
yet?
Did not happen, Ecstatic.
Did not, no.
So what I'm hearing
of my wild things like, maybe he's got a magic artifact.
What I'm hearing is that if it was at the beginning of season 2, that means me and Danny are not to blame.
I think that's fair.
We're just poor innocent GMs. We don't know anything.
Woo Desu.
Okay, maybe I take it back. I wish I had made it very clear that in my head, Dragon was Gazelle much earlier.
Yeah, it wasn't until we were already starting to plan the finale things that you were like, hey, so when are we doing that reveal? And we were like, I'm sorry, the what now? I have been building shit up for Gazelle for how long now, and I'm just now learning this?
I'm sorry. Okay, I'll shut up now. Just move on.
It was
I have one.
Just want to get that out to all of those who don't think that, Play As You Go exists.
Yeah.
I'd say maybe adding more adult heroes, if anything. Because, I'm personally guilty of this as well. Just, literally knocking out the adult heroes, or adults in general. because I have no idea how adults function or exist.
That's true. You're like 12.
She's wow. She got from 12 to she went from 9 to 12 during the course of the season.
Nice.
She did.
Go on, keep going.
I guess just playing up that there are in fact adults who enforce authority versus it's like, just a bunch of teenagers running hog wild causing property damage because that's what teenagers do, superpowers or no superpowers.
It's essentially just teenage D&D at this point.
I think that's fair.
Yep.
All right. The next question is for Batman.
Oh boy.
Get ready. Batman, this is a mechanic question. Do you feel satisfied with how the Wounded playbook has turned out in play for your sessions? Are there any changes in your mind that you would like to make to it?
Yeah, I really like what it does. It was meant to like explore the relationship that people have with their powers, and I think it does that. I think that people in that playbook are, in this position where they don't want to use their powers, any of them, but they're constantly put in positions where they have to, which was the goal. So I'm glad that it does that. But Redshift and Kimmy have both mentioned to me that they feel that it's too generic, and that's a problem with me because I kind of had to rush it out, and it doesn't have a lot of the like the Janus has, when time passes, the Legacy has, their legacy, but the Wounded it doesn't have that, and that's something that I've been trying to work on and is really, really hard, and is not something that I've managed to figure out yet. So if anybody has advice there, I'm happy to hear it.
Maybe it could be something. A discussion for another time.
Yeah,
I have ideas I would like to throw at you.
The Wounded, I would love to hear them.
I also have ideas. The reason why I've avoided the Wounded because I don't like dark playbooks, but I have ideas of how they could play sort of similar, less to a personal thing and more to how you beat adversity, but your adversity is always there to remind you of it. So it should be something that should be in game. But that's just my idea of mechanics and stuff like that. Don't worry about that for now. All right, everyone ready for the personal questions? Group questions?
Okay.
Guys, all right. So in a simple question, how is it that our game differs from a normal game? The persistent world.
Whoops.
Well.
Like from an out of thing perspective, I guess. The West Marches playstyle with an open calendar where you can just talk to a GM to book stuff. And how, I guess we handle stuff with having a huge group, huge cast, a lot of players, multiple GMs. It's like, it presents differently from your typical average D&D setting by having basically kind of more a community of players versus a certain amount of players, and then it's like a side community, kind of like how a Critical Role does it, I guess. Where it's like, the community and the group are separate.
And I think one of the things that we build on better than your average game is because of a lot of what Annie just mentioned, is that it feels like there's a giant world around you that you're not even going to be able to discover anything. It kind of mimics an open world environment in a role-playing game, which is kind of cool to think about from a broad spectrum when you sit back and man, there was this thing that happened all the way that I had no idea what was going on. And their choices are mattering to what happened to me in this session today. And I think that's one of our cool strengths.
I think the finale of Follow Zodiac definitely mattered to that because I don't think anyone thought things like the cure or lifting up Zodiac or any of that was going to end up factoring into actual great plans. Which is what I really like. No one thought, well, how's it gonna tie up to anything else like that? But we had Gazelle tying in, we had ES17 tying in, we have the Cure being tied in. We literally took Zodiac City by itself. That big move they made to move Zodiac into the sky and actually have the sky be there. Literally wrote the rest of the plot line for us for the rest of the season. Because that was it. There we had our end game, we had our end goal, we had everything in a nice laid out line. And even though people went in the Zodiac City session to form Zodiac City, they were influenced by it and it became a staple in everyone else's lives, and I really enjoyed that. Anyone else anything else to add? Or you guys wait for me to finish talking?
I have thoughts. I'm just trying to figure out how to phrase them.
Okay. I'll give it some time. No, Rescue, we can't hear you at all.
Oh, you're saying, yeah, we cannot hear you. The light is not lighting up for you.
Xerxes!
Here we go.
Oh,
There we go.
There
I
you
don't know.
are.
I don't know why it just wasn't detecting me for some reason.
Anything you'd like to add?
I do think that another thing that I really enjoy about our group and think that is different is that because we have so many GMs that you're almost guaranteed to have at least one session a week.
That is true.
Because you know how sometimes if, of course, things happen, life happens, sometimes things come up and you can't go to, your regularly planned D&D session, whether it's every like 2 weeks or every week or whatever it may be. Whereas compared to this, there's always going to be something run over the weekend or throughout the week. And even if it's not from us, it's from other people who want to, give a hand at doing an OVA or what have you. It's just, there's always something to do.
That is true. I've really been enjoying the ideas of OVAs run by like players just to do little fun things, just little like fun side stories and stuff like that. And I also like the idea that players can come to us and be like, actually, I would like to run a private session based on my character. Do you mind running this for us from the board?
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed that. I also feel like this server is very much like, okay, this is gonna be okay. Hot take, everyone. Hot take. Hot take. I think we should do more play to find out stuff when it comes to the game. I think players have really been enjoying how things are going, but it is getting more and more difficult to have someone tell the story the player wants to tell when there's other people on the table.
Right.
And I'd like to take Horn of the Wild storyline as a really good example of that, because Siege basically said, hey, Ecstatic, Wild Thing needs an ending. I don't know what you want, what I want, or what you want. Let's have a basic start line and we'll just go with it. And he gave me some basic start line pointers. I went with it, and hopefully he was satisfied with that.
I was, yes. No, I was. I really did enjoy it.
No, he wasn't.
Like, it was cool. Like, I'm just like flat
He's
out.
lying
It was
to
cool.
you. He's lying to you.
Like,
I feel this server is built a lot on trust. So if the players would trust us with a bit more of their backstory, so we can murder their parents. I mean, what? I mean, if we could trust our backstory and trust us not to mess it up, we are happy to take it on board and try and give them the ending or the storyline that they would like to. Because quite frankly, if they don't go through us, they might as well just write them off in scenes and then not use those characters or that plot line in the game. And I don't know if that's what they want, but they're welcome to do that. But if they want us to help, they need to trust us to go through things. And that's one thing I like about the season, that the trust between players and GMs was great. Bestiary's plot line has been a freaking roller coaster for me, and I've really enjoyed it. And I've enjoyed doing it, watching it being done by different GMs, to the point where he finally chose to actually cure himself and go through. And I feel like Scone did not feel he was screwed over for that. And that's what I really enjoyed. So I wish we had more trust between our players a bit more. All right, I think that's fine. Go on, Rescue.
I was just going to say, that would be nice, but I also understand why some people are very adverse to that.
I know, like, I'm with that too.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, I would also kind of like for people to just be like, here's the bare bones of what I have. Feel free to, take this in a direction that you think would be cool. But I also understand why there are some people who don't want to do that, because, it is their character. It's, the autonomy of, this is something that you created. So, of course, you want it to be something that you enjoy and not risk it becoming something that you don't enjoy.
I can understand that, and that's why I'm like, make sure you give us some guidelines of things you don't want to happen and things you do want to happen, but don't. I prefer if they didn't go, all right, this is how it is. It could never change.
Don't touch it.
Don't touch it. also use this for your game. And I'm like, well, I can't do both. I can't use your plot lines and also not touch them because once the dice hit the table, I have no control. But yeah, it's one of those things.
We really don't. Yeah.
We really don't. And I feel we have a lot of adults characters who are brought in from other people's plotlines that I would love to see more of in game. But
for sure.
we need a bit more leeway on them. But it depends on which the character is and who they work and if everyone's satisfied. So we need just a bit more trust between players. All right.
Yeah,
Anyone else got anything to add?
I have an answer actually to this
All
question
right,
as well.
let's go.
I have partaken in a number of living communities. You know, basically multi-GM, multiplayer things on Discord. And I'm really surprised and impressed that we managed to get it working for Masks and any PBTA game. Because a lot of what I've done is you know, D&D, Shadowrun. It's systems where characters are fundamentally interchangeable. And like there's no limits, it's not as narrative driven, and you can basically pick people up and plop them anywhere else and the world will make sense. And the fact that that's not true here, but that we're still able to run this effectively living world is really cool, and it's a testament to both our players and our GMs, and I'm really proud of everyone for making that happen.
For sure.
Babes. Thanks.
That's yeah. Ecstatic is.
All right. I think that's everything, right?
Oh, well, no, there was no direct question towards Ecstatic as far as I'm aware.
No, I'm not done. I mean, that was everything.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God,
Okay.
Siege.
I'm ready for this question.
I am running this.
Oh my
I'm
god.
ready for it. I want to see it.
All right. Also, we've still got tons of questions to go, so I gotta burn.
We
through them.
do.
So, next up is for me actually, and it's
There you go.
what special episode would I love to run during season 3?
Special episode?
Yeah, like not part of the regular plot, just like a personal guilty pleasure I'd like to run.
Oh,
for
okay.
Season 3.
I have an idea. I
And,
wonder
I
if
mean-
it's the same thing.
I mean,
have a feeling now.
I have a million things. Like you all know the one I really want to do,
Yeah.
but
Don't.
the plot I won't be revealing that because that's definitely gonna happen. But the guilty pleasure one I would love to do is I would love to go to Paris
Oh.
with the party on a field trip to go chase down Portability.
Oh.
I would love them to go meet the Paris version of Big Team and hang out Paris version of Big Team and go
Le
on a
Big Team.
3-episode jumps through Paris, breaking Paris buildings, and going to Paris fun time.
New big base.
Is this just an excuse for you to use a French accent?
Oui, baguettes.
Oh no.
Say what?
I can't believe that the American heroes destroyed the Eiffel Tower.
Sex
No,
on
if
bleu.
anyone's gonna destroy the Eiffel Tower, it's us. Let's be real.
All right, let's hit some more questions. Let's go for some more. All right. So next up, and now we're going back to the more personal questions again. So bear with me here. I've got another question I gotta answer myself, but that's for me later.
Okay.
Batman, I've done that one. Siege.
Okay.
Let's say hypothetically that due to personal situational changes, you couldn't GM a season 3, and you had to hand over GM to one of us.
Oh, good.
What's the one thing you would ask us to do for you for season 3? And what is the one thing you would ask for us not to do?
Not to do. Okay.
One thing to do and one not to.
All right. We'll go down the left or right list I've got here. So Annie gets to be first. If there was a thing not to do for Annie, it would be to not let yourself go too crazy at times with your with small things like don't let your shipping control get out of control.
Don't play Aphrodite. I got it.
We love our ships, we love our relationships, but if we make that the core of our game, it's gonna be trouble. We're gonna turn into DeviantArt, and we don't want to do that.
How dare you?
How very dare you?
How dare you assume Annie isn't just DeviantArt?
Hard take it, So, what I would ask for you to do, take some more introspective things. Like, be a little bit step back. Actually, wait. restate that question again. So it's what I want them to not do and what I think they should keep doing.
One thing they should do, you'd ask them to do. You'd ask them to do something, and you ask them not to do.
So if I went with any, by the way, this is a lot of time for me.
Yeah, well, to be honest, it was one question for all of us, but you decided to go down the each individual person role, so you've made this bed, and I got to lie in it.
God damn it!
It's because Siege pulled out his library card. It's fine.
It's
he just wants to read a little.
I misheard the question.
We're only 40 minutes in. You can take as long as you need.
All right.
Yeah, go for it.
Anyways, Annie, for should do, I would say you definitely need to, you should, take a more introspective thing, like step back a little bit and look at, like, the whole world of the game. Like, try to see, like, what all the individual pieces are, and not let yourself get so zeroed in on stuff. Because I think you do a great job of like finding individual players and creating individual stories, but sometimes I don't see that you see enough of the wide. But
she's trying to make a. Sorry, go on.
Good at that though, and she's got the like.
She is, but it's
go.
Stop complimenting me. Go.
Believe in yourself. That's what you should do. Like believe in yourself a fuck ton more. You're amazing. Don't let other people tell you you're not. What not to do? Not don't murder things.
Easier said than done. Excuse me.
Ecstatic. You should keep being you. Like I don't think I have enough like clout to be able to tell you flat out like I know exactly what you're doing wrong of any way of any possible thing.
Everything.
Should what I wish you would do more of is like be an active more like in the community more like talk to people like on a daily basis a little bit more, like maybe spend a little bit more time in chat when you can.
I'll take that.
Rescue.
Saved the best for last.
Yes, of course. What you should do is you should also be amazing and no, you're already amazing. I can't tell you not.
Exactly. I'm already there, honey.
You you should tell yourself that I think you should definitely. It's a little hard.
I don't know if that's
like
something you can just
honestly,
say out
I
loud.
think you should like actually come out and just be like, let your crazy voices fly. Like, speak up for like the character plots you want to run more, because I don't hear you do that enough, and I'd love to hear that more. Get excited about stuff like Silencio or Benoit, or like we can run more Blacklight, because that's all fun, and I want to see more of it. It's fantastic. Shouldn't do. Shouldn't be. You shouldn't be playing furry games while we're running GM chat.
How very dare you? This is important.
Oh my god. It doesn't matter which one you pick. You have to go play to the game 3 times anyway. Okay, so...
Okay, yeah, but still, I love all 3 of them anyways.
Oh my Jesus Christ. Also, the small one's annoying. Next up. Question. Will we get to see more adult heroes? Or maybe some returned hellos from non-heroes like Lancelot in Season 3? More adult heroes. Are we going to see more? My answer is going to be yes.
Yes.
I'm deciding that after Zodiac City and how much Big Team helped, we need to see more adult heroes. Like,
agreed.
Like we don't even have that many. We can just show them more often.
Yeah, I feel like we haven't been utilizing them enough. And even with someone who's supposed to be utilized the most, Cyclone, aka Super Dad, we don't even really use him that much. We mostly just use him to set up the plot and send the characters and send the players on their way.
Yeah, I feel we need a Cyclone-centric plotline, like a 3-part Cyclone-centric plotline run by Ecstatic, so you know somebody's going to die.
Oh, get his powers back!
It's gonna be so good. Can't wait.
It's gonna be so hard. Do not send him on stealth missions because his ass cheeks are dummy thick.
All right. Siege and Xerxes, question for you.
Oh.
Has Thorn been maneuvering in the background of season 2? And will she feature more prominently in season 3?
Oh, goodness.
Yes.
That's a question.
That's all I got to say about that.
Just yes.
If you want,
I have a follow-up question after that.
For me, I'm not going to lie, and this is, I think, why Siege told me to just let it, stop worrying about this so much. I'm very worried about taking an NPC that someone else has created, and even after, asking things like, okay, is this okay, is that okay, whatever, and still not doing that NPC justice, or taking them in a completely different direction than what someone thought. So I haven't really done anything with Thorn. I don't know if anyone else has been having these ideas on how to implement Thorn into it more. Although I would like to see more of our, I guess, anti-hero / villain characters step in as well. But in the end, I would like to implement these characters a lot more.
Okay, I'll take that. I'll put it down. Batman, you had a question?
Xerxes answered it, actually. So good job.
Oh, it is.
Wait, what? Cool.
Yeah.
I guess.
All right, in that case, Siege, could you answer this question? Do we know about the bee lady that got smushed in the gray base with Shock and Steel Spirit Alpha? Actual wife of Gazelle? Different relative? Clone? Experiment? Question mark?
So this may have changed since she was created. Yeah. It did change? Well, why don't you tell us then, Xerxes? I think that this might fit your better.
I think originally Siege's idea was that yes, this is the real wife of Gazal, but
that is not my original idea.
Well, if it was, I fucked that up entirely.
It wasn't, so you didn't.
Okay, then no. I'm just
okay.
I didn't know that this had already happened when I did the things that I did with Gazal and his wife. And so it was a shock to me that happened. And I was like, oh, well, okay, cool. I guess that's a thing.
I had originally...
Go on, after you.
I had originally intended her to be I had intended her to be the main clone, right? I had intended her to be either a leader of these bee clones, or just a central figure. This is something that Gazal was doing to reach out to his lost wife, right? And how he was trying to bridge that gap.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like what you ended up doing that just as well. As far as that character individually, where she stands, I think she's just one of the clones, right? She just happened to be the first one that the team met.
Cool.
I'll take that.
Is that a problem?
No, not at all.
All right, Batman.
Mm-hmm.
We've had 2 sessions visiting the hellish prison realm of Ferron, based on Dante's Inferno. If you were to run only one spirit realm session in another mythological location, Norse, Greek, Chinese, etc., which would it be and why?
I was really keen on exploring Yggdrasil. I thought that the Horn of the Wild had a lot of potential to be akin to the World Tree in our setting. And if I remember correctly, I ran this by Siege, and he was also super into that as making kind of the central location that everything else kind of came out of. I think that's the only exploration I've done. Having kind of seen this question now, that's not true. I also, I guess, was interested in exploring Purgatory, also from Dante. But I think there's more. That one is potentially a little sketchy and a little weird, because Purgatory is supposed to be not hellish, So kind of running a session there would make it either it would question some people's sensibilities or it would be boring. And neither of those is ideal.
I think that's entirely fair. Keep going.
And I think I actually have an answer. I think I would like to explore a religious afterlife now that I'm thinking about it. Whether it's something like in the Aporson trilogy or like Egyptian mythology where you've got like river Styx and you're walking down that, or you've got some Viking Valhalla or Norse Hell. I think either one of those, any one of those would be very interesting. I think some kind of journey into some afterlife would be really fun to do.
Guys, at some point we're gonna go to Valhalla. I'm just gonna say that now. It's happening. It's happening. I don't know how we're gonna make it work. At some point, I think we need to go to Avalon because we have way too many connections to Avalon.
Of course, I think Avalon deserves its own like Sonata-ish.
We will get there.
I have an idea of a game I would like to run, mostly based on L, as Lancelot has.
All right.
Based on going to Avalon, but I'm gonna have to put it past her because it's going to be very silly.
Elle goes to Avalon and everyone's upset because they just found out that everyone in Avalon was dating Elle.
That sounds great.
All right.
Valhalla is a bar for retired heroes and vets.
We've got a bit more time, so we're gonna go to the few more of the yellow questions. This one's for me. I'm not gonna answer the first one because I feel that one. Okay, might as well give it a shot. I'm gonna answer. How do you keep so hype every time there's a session? You go from tired to wired like a Formula One car at times. It's remarkable. I'll tell you why. You see, it's because I secretly drink the blood of my enemies. I drown myself in them. Whenever I start, I have a nice little cup next to me of the last person who pissed me off at work. I down it in one, and I'm just filled with. I wish there was an explanation as to what it is, but the truth is, I like action and I like engagement, and if players engage with me, I get more hype. And the more hype I get, the more wilder my plot lines go, which is why I tend to do action scenes, because action scenes are easier to go hype on compared to emotional scenes where I'm like, if I go too hype, I am literally going to break this character. I do not want to do that. Although that being said, so after you go on.
I was ready for you to say matcha tea ad, like matcha green, your matcha tea ad.
The matcha tea is only for emergency games, like when I had to run 2 games back to back because someone decided to make me run a final session because someone didn't tell us the last session we're gonna run before the end series.
I don't know who would do that, but that person's a total asshole.
I'm sorry. It's all my fault.
Hey, Siege, man, we're doing Follow Zodiac soon, so you guys set this up? Oh, not yet. Oh, okay, well, I'm away last weekend, so you set it up, right? Wait, what? Wait, what? Okay.
From tired to wired.
I will say that next season I am going to be taking a break from the action to run more mundane scenes. I've had a few complaints that most of my games are action and have moved the plot along. So I'm probably gonna take a break from the main plot of the game and running more mundane and calming games. So expect cooking expeditions from me. I don't know how long this will keep up, but I'll mostly be doing gentle
Flash
stuff.
forward to season 3.
Was that the Avalon session you were thinking of? Avalon Cooking Mama?
Oh god.
Avalon Cooking Mama would be so good. I'd like to see one of Nights Around for one thing. That'd be cool. Okay.
I really want Ecstatic to run an ASMR session.
No, please.
Hey everybody, you ready for ASMR?
No.
I'll stop. Siege.
Mm-hmm.
You are facing off against Cyclone in a contest. What kind of contest is it, and which GM is your second?
The contest is definitely wow, that's who made the challenge, right? Because this is what matters. These are the hard facts, right?
We're assuming you made the challenge to Cyclone.
Assuming I made the challenge to Cyclone, I would challenge him to Civ 6 because he's never heard of that game.
And which GM will be your second, though? That's the important question.
Man, my second, I think I'd give it to you. The reason I'd make you my second here is because I think that you have the best chance to be distract him with your ecstaticness, and by your crazy distraction, I'll be able to build up the bigger army to take him down. And you've actually played before, I think.
Oh, so I've played the game. That's fair. Annie.
Oh no.
This is a hot take question, so bear with me. Which season two session did you find the hardest to run, and what did you learn from running it?
All right, so I have a short answer and I have a long answer. Long answer being moderately long, minimally long. The short answer is the Valentine's OVA because I accidentally cut it an hour short. So the lesson I took from that was look at my clock and know what times your session starts. And also, the hardest one I had to do was Gone Nuclear, the second part of the Atomic arc, because I didn't expect everyone to actually like the villains. Because an hour and a half later, I'm like, they're still fighting them. What am I gonna do? And then I got all these stars at the end. It's like, I really love the villains, and I'm like, they're supposed to be one-shot villains. You're not supposed to care about what they have to say. So, I guess the thing that I learned there is that I can make captivating, morally ambiguous villains. I guess for both of them, actually. And make sure to know what the players like and plan around that for the next time if they come back.
I love it. It's pure genius. All right, guys. So we've answered all the questions I've highlighted so far. Do we have enough time for one more question?
We're not even an hour in.
We really aren't even
it's an hour. It's an hour long. It's an hour. Supposed to be an hour long.
Is it? Okay, we have 3 minutes.
Excellent. In which case, guys, get ready. It is kiss, date, or yeet the other GMs.
I saw that one. I was waiting for it.
You are all on a thin line here.
Oh man.
Here we go. It's going down, guys.
3.5.
Or dates other GMs.
The other GMs. Oof.
Kiss
all right.
Hey, well, I couldn't make it players.
Yeah, that's
I'll tell you what. I'll be nice. Kiss, yeet, date, player characters.
Okay.
Player characters.
Yeah.
Oh man. Player characters, not NPCs.
Not
Because
NPCs.
it's easy answers.
I mean, I'm about to be kiss Rodriguez, date Rodriguez, yeet Rodriguez. All three at the same time.
That's totally fine.
Kiss, date, or yeet other player characters. Go on. Okay. Starting with you, Siege. Go.
Oh, me now? Okay.
Yeah, screw it.
Me personally, or Jake? Oh no, me. It's all right. None of them because they're all teenagers.
That is not an answer.
I'm the only one who can answer this.
Let's pretend for this. Yeah, let's pretend for the sake of this that everyone is at least the person's age or somewhere
that
around
I
it.
don't feel weird by kissing them out. Okay.
Yeah.
Kiss. I'll start with Yeet. God damn, this is hard. Kiss, date, or Yeet, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, kiss, date, or Yeet.
Okay.
I don't know why this question is in here. I'm so sorry.
It's a good question.
It's a good question, I guess.
It's a fun question.
Yeet should be the easiest, I think. I think we can eat Dom because it would be pretty good to eat Dom at people. I'm not gonna lie. Cannonballing special, the cannonball is even better. Is the best. Date of Rhiannon, because I feel like she'd just be the most supportive partner of our team.
Aww.
Fair.
And kiss I think I'm gonna go with Lavender because Lavender's the bad boy girl who's just like, who's just the sex machine of our team.
Totally fair. I'll give you that. Okay, rescue your last, by the way. I just want you to know that because there's no way I'm doing you next. Batman.
Hard choices.
So many.
I think that for me, date is easiest. Spectre, I date you.
Thonk.
Oh, that's good. All right.
You know, I think I'm with Siege on this one. I kiss Lav. Lav's got it going on.
Well, I think that's fair.
Lav too.
But you still need
rescue. Rescue means yeetable in a way. In a single adjective, rescue is yeetable.
That's fair and also valid.
All right, Annie.
Oh, this is yeet L just for the fun, just
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna throw Lance a lot, like a lance. A lot.
I hate.
Love it.
You know what? Kiss challenge. Cause like,
ooh,
not a bad call.
You know, low-key crushing on challenge, cause like I relate so hard. And you know what? Sidestep seems like a super bouncy, awesome, fun character. Just date, I guess. Cause like it's just
I think that's probably fair.
He's so precious.
I think that's also probably fair. All right, rescue. Let's go for it.
Oh no! You said rescue was last. That means you have
to go.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I'm sorry. You can't.
Crap! I was hoping you'd avoid me. Okay, fine. Do I have to do this?
Yes.
You asked us.
You're making the rest of us.
Do this. All right, fine. All right, kiss Rhiannon because anyone who has this much magical power going among them is incredible, and I want to kiss that action. Date. You know what? Date challenge.
Damn.
I'm straight up date challenge. Challenge has their life sorted out. They know what they want.
That's true.
Challenge with okay then.
Can I switch?
The life sorted out. They know what they want.
Can I change my answer?
No, you can't. What is it? You can change your answer.
Too late.
Yeah, date challenge because sidestep. There.
Yeah, true. And yeet every character related to Avalon. all of them. Yeet all of them. I am not having. I have read the books. I am not messing with that world. Everything related to anyone in the Avalon universe needs to be yeeted out the window. Out the window. Out the house. Out the planet. Y'all heard it from here. Don't at me. Finally, rescue.
Hold on, I just have to at you real fast.
Don't at me.
Probably yeet Reckon. I mean, it feels like she's
Is it because she bounced back to
you? I mean, she just always seems to bounce back every time she, goes down, which is, kiss. God, kissing is hard. It would probably be kiss. Jesus. It's a toss-up between Jake and Sidestep.
Wait, kiss Sidestep?
I would kiss Sidestep. Wait. I'd probably kiss Sidestep, yeah. He's fun, energetic. He cares about other people. So and Jake is kind of the same, except he's got that whole druid thing going on, which is, kind of cool. Yeah, let's go with Jake. Sorry, the druidic thing is just way more attractive.
It's fine. I've been dumped for worse.
It's also because he can turn into an animal and furry, right?
I absolutely hate you.
I didn't want to say it.
I wasn't even thinking about that. You're all the worst.
So you say.
Brush his shoulder.
All right, and date is the last.
Yeah, date Dom. He just seems like he'd treat me right.
I think that's fair. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was it. Everyone listening, who is listening later on, if you somehow still manage to keep yourself listening through, thank you very much for giving us a fantastic season 2. I would like to personally do a few shout outs while we're here to L, Dom, and Rhiannon for basically maintaining the wiki and keeping it going strong. Right. For my personal shout out is to Rhiannon for constantly reminding me of rules that I personally always keep forgetting. Second shout out to your boy Rookie, whom I love very much, and I would really love to see on our team at some point. So that's my shout out to you.
Speaking of, can I make an announcement?
Oh gosh. Make an announcement? Go on and do it.
Yeah, Rookie will be joining us as a GM next season.
Xerxes!
Oh my God! Yeah, absolutely.
That's amazing. Rookie, do not read the back chat I've had about you. It's very important you don't go back to read all the shitty things I've said about you. Please don't. It's very important.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a quick purge of the GM chat.
Like all of it needs to go. All of it.
Yeah, we have to be safe.
Because I'm a monster of chaos. Let me look for Rookie real quick so I can make sure to get his tag added this second. You have 5 seconds to delete what you want to say.
Does anyone have anything they would like to say? Any shout outs to any players or anything else like that?
I would like to do I think you covered the ones that I wanted to hit up first off.
I have one more, but I'll wait till you're done. Okay,
I wanted to make a shout out to the mods, like Dirk and Matt and this Rogue. They've been great. They do a lot of stuff to help keep us running and deal with our nonsense and craziness that is this game.
It is very crazy.
Dirk, we talked about this.
Dirk, we have talked about how much I love you guys. They do a lot of stuff, and I love them. So that's the shout out I wanted to make.
Any other shout outs?
Shout out to you for running this thing.
Indeed, thank you.
No swear. I feel instead of having like a post-mortem serious one, it was good to have a nice, let's just get the beers out, pop the champagne, and just relax and just enjoy the moment because when we can, and let the players do what they want to do with the information afterwards.
I really like this kind of stuff. It's fun just talking with you guys.
It's good just to chat, just have a chat, even if it's a short one. And my last shout out actually will go to Dirk because thank you very much, Darcy, for all the work you put through. And we love you very much, even if every now and then we tell you to stop because we need you to stop. You're killing us.
We talked about this.
Dirk, we talked about
this.
Oh man.
Good times. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
I hate.
Oh my god, I can't.
I didn't mean it.
For anyone who cannot see right now, it is a screenshot of that time when Annie made linked. I don't even know how many lines this is. It is bigger than Safe for Work Sasuke, and filled the chat with it.
Why did you post this?
Because it was originally supposed to be this.
Wait, what? Let me.
It was supposed to be an image, and instead Annie somehow got, I think, the link to the image. And unfortunately, the link just lasted for all of time.
Oh my god. All right. I think we're gonna round up there because I think we've gone well over an hour, and no one should just want an hour. It's just us chatting crap. So thank you very much for listening, and as always, I would like to sign off by simply just saying.
Previously on
Oh god.
That's it. I'm not saying anything else. That's all I want to say. I'm not using that soundbite, okay? It was really good soundbite.
You do have to use that soundbite more.
We're gonna all have to use it next season, okay? Just.
I will ask him to do a last season on Big Team just for you guys.
Yes.
See you guys next season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or for
Okay.
the 2.5 OVAs and such.
2.5 OVAs.
Anybody's,
See you then.
Yeah.
Stop the recording.
Okay, this is Bexus, soon to be Brexus, signing off.